Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer admits there could be further departures from Manchester United in this January transfer window. Timothy Fosu-Mensah recently left the club to join Bayer Leverkusen. We made the right decision by getting rid of Timothy Fosu-Mensah because he seldom played for Manchester United anyway. Now, as you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that Romero and Marcus Rojo are free to leave in this January transfer window. He said their contracts won't be extended. Now, Romero has been at the club for over 5 years now. He's always been a backup. He's obviously now our third choice goalkeeper. We got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. And as for Marcus Rojo, he's never really established himself as a first team regular. And, we got Marcus Rojo back in 2014 from Sporting Lisbon. Sustained quite a few injuries at Man United. Last season, he was out on loan with Estudiantes. Jesse Lingard, now he's been linked with a move away from Manchester United. It recently said that Solskjaer had made a decision on Jesse Lingard's future and he wants him to stay at the football club this month. Now, Sky Sports recently said that Jesse Lingard's representatives were in negotiations with Nice regarding a loan move. West Ham, not so long ago, were in negotiations with Jesse Lingard's agent. Sheffield United have been in for him. He did say towards the end of last year that Real Sociedad were in negotiations with his agent. And he said Villa, Celtic and Rangers were in for him. So he's been subjected to quite a lot of transfer speculation. There's no point Lingard being here now anyway, because obviously he lost his place in the team a while ago. I think he's into the final 6 months of his contract. But Lingard has been part of the club for several years. Now, Odion Ighalo, we're expecting him to leave the football club. His loan expires at the end of this month. He seldom plays now, but to Ighalo's credit, last season, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup. We got him on deadline day in January of last year. The main explanation we recommended him in was to get a cover-up to Marcus Rashford, because at the time, Marcus Rashford was out with a back injury. Will Phil Jones leave the football club this month? If he doesn't leave this month, I think he'll leave the football club in the summer. Jones has always been inconsistent. This is his 10th season at Man United, so he has been a long servant. He's been at the club since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We got him from Blackburn. There's obviously been rumours of Daniel James going out on loan, because actually Daniel James has lost his place in the team. We got Daniel James in June 2019 in a deal worth £18 million. Quite a few weeks ago now, there was rumours of James going out on loan to West Brom. Leeds United have been relentlessly linked with him. Leeds United came very, very close to getting him in January 2019. There's also been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan. Brandon Williams is our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. Williams seldom plays, so I think it would be the right decision to put him out on loan to gain him more experience. This is Brandon Williams' second season in our senior squad. He did play quite a lot of games last season. Main explanation is because Luke Shaw had a couple of periods out with injury. Now, was it in the summer? Brandon Williams signed a 4-year contract with Man United. And at the start of this season, we give him that number 33 shirt. He is predominantly a left back, but we've also put him at right back a couple of times. Shields Gazette said the other week that Newcastle had agreed a deal in principle to get Brandon Williams on loan, and it's actually said that Southampton want him on loan. And I think more players will leave Manchester United in the summer. This morning, I give you the news on Paul Pogba. He said that we will allow Paul Pogba to leave the football club in the summer. Paul Pogba recently gave an interview ahead of our game against Liverpool tomorrow, and he said that we're not on Liverpool's level yet, but he says Man United can win the Premier League. And he was talking about his frustration of when he was on the bench. To Paul Pogba's credit, he has done well since he came back from that ankle injury. He had that ankle injury earlier on in the season. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury, and recently had a minor injury. Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Now, recently, it said that he could join PSG in the summer, because Mino Raiola has been in negotiations with PSG, and it did say that Mauricio Pochettino identified Paul Pogba as his top target. He's been relentlessly linked to a return to Juventus. Like I mentioned, Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison. But like I said, he's done well recently. He's had some good periods here and there. Swap deals have been high on the agenda, because it did say that Juventus had offered us Aaron Ramsey as part of a swap deal for Pogba. We rejected that. He said they also offered us Douglas Costa as part of a swap deal for Pogba. We also rejected that. But it said that we are interested in an exchange deal. It did say towards the end of last year that Juventus were willing to offer us Federico Bernardeschi or Paulo Dybala in exchange for Paul Pogba. Pogba's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. Inter Milan and Barcelona have been in for him before. Now, we have revealed our asking price. We want £75 million for him. I think we've come to accept that he won't be signing a new long-term contract. Earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment, because we paid £89 million for him. This is his, 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Don't forget, Mino Raiola told Tuttosport last month that his client's career is over at Manchester United. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. And Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement, because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Solskjaer did say, though, earlier on this season that Pogba can be convinced to stay at the club if the club win trophies. Don't forget, during the last international break, like I've updated you so many times, Paul Pogba made quite a few comments saying like this season has been the most difficult period in his career. He said like playing for France is a breath of fresh air. And in general, he was talking about his Man United struggles this season, but reflecting on them comments, he did receive a lot of criticism, and Didier Deschamps, the France manager, was talking a lot about him. But like I say, if Paul Pogba believes it will be in the summer transfer window, it won't be in this January transfer window. Could Matic be sold in the summer? Because obviously Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but to be fair, he's ahead of Donny van der Beek. I've criticised Matic before, but I've also praised him before. I think he's underrated, is Matic, to be honest with you. He's had some good games and he's also had some bad games. Was it before the start of this season? He signed a 3-year contract with Man United. He's just a slow player, is Matic. He always has been a slow player, and he's obviously now in his 30s, so obviously he's aging up. Matic has been at Man United now over 3 years. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. You know, could Juan be sold in the summer transfer window? Again, I think Juan Mata's underrated, and I think Juan Mata's enjoyed a good career at Manchester United. He's been at the club now for over 6 years. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions, and he's scored 50 goals in all competitions. You know, we got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. Earlier on this season, he rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. He has played some games this season. You know, Juan Mata's obviously now lost that yard of pace. And obviously he's, 33, 34 years of age. So there you go. So Solskjaer has issued a transfer update. Solskjaer did say not so long ago that January signings are unlikely, but he hopes that a deal or two can be done. Now, this January transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And Woodward has obviously promised that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He deserves more backing at the club because I think all of the transfer windows he has enjoyed so far, he hasn't been backed enough. Last summer, Solskjaer wasn't backed enough by the board because quite a few times last summer, he showed his frustration towards the board because we missed out on his priority targets. But Woodward did say towards the end of last year that we will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. By the way, Woodward has told Solskjaer that the club needs to be careful how they spend in the summer. But the board, like I say, has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. I've already given you the main explanations why. You know, we've had Woodward at the football club since 2012. You've had the Glazers at the football club since 2005. But I think we're looking to make around, 4 signings this year to complete our squad overhaul. There has been a lot of players on our agenda. Earlier on today, I give you the news on Jadon Sancho. France Football, via Sports Witness, said that Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements for Sancho. And now reportedly, they've identified their replacement for Sancho. I think it's a player from PSV, I can't remember his name. But it says that Man United could sign Jadon Sancho in the summer, and we believe we can get him for less than £100 million. Now, the Borussia Dortmund CEO has explained why Sancho's struggled at Dortmund this season, because he was expected to join us last summer. Now, Sancho recently made an admission saying that it's been a difficult season for him at Borussia Dortmund, but he did say that he's happy to be back among the goals. Chelsea and Liverpool are also in for him. Don't forget he was our number 1 priority target last summer. Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million. You know, we was not willing to meet their valuation. £108 million is too much anyway. I think he's probably worth around maybe 60, 70 or £80 million. But he did say a few times last summer that, you know, the personal terms had been agreed and the agent fees had been agreed, and he even said a contract had been agreed, and Fabrizio Romano, who's very reliable, he's spoken about the Sancho saga a few times. Bill's Christian Falk has also spoken about it before. And I think Sancho said a few times last summer that he wanted to come to Manchester United. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre. But yeah, last summer Dortmund made it clear to us that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline. Sancho's got a contract with Dortmund till 2023. Analysing the vast majority of his career at Dortmund, he's been very consistent. And Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Manchester City. But yeah, we won't sign him in this January transfer window. The news on Declan Rice. I give you the news on him recently. By the way, this is stemming from ESPN, saying that Man United are set to rival Chelsea for Declan Rice. Declan Rice is Frank Lampard's #1 target. Obviously, Frank Lampard was frustrated when he missed out on Declan Rice. Chelsea last year spent over £200 million. I think West Ham did value Declan Rice at around £80 million. We've inquired about his availability before. He's been at West Ham for several years now. He's got a contract with them until 2024. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, but you can put him as a centre-half. I just like the way he gets forward, Declan Rice, and he breaks up the play well. And he's well Premier League proven, and he's only the age of 22. If he goes to Chelsea, Declan Rice, he'll be reuniting with Chelsea because he did play for Chelsea, didn't he? But I don't think he ever got in their senior squad. He was just in their youth setup for several years. You already know the news on Sergio Ramos. Recently, it said that Man United are willing to offer him a 2-year contract. And we're thinking about getting him on a free transfer. I don't think he'll come to Man United from my perception. You already know the news on Dayot Upamecano. I think it's very, very unlikely he'll come to Manchester United. Earlier on this month, I did give you the news on Max Aarons from Norwich, didn't I? So that's the latest on that. But like I say, Manchester United are in a very, very good position at the moment. We are sitting top of the Premier League table by 3 points. If we do beat Liverpool tomorrow, we will be 6 points clear. Then we'll be even in more of a commanding position then. Solskjaer is the first Man United manager to get us top of the league at this stage of the season since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And no one thought we'd have been top of the league midway through January 2021. You wouldn't have thought we'd have been joint top of the Premier League at the beginning of January, and you wouldn't have thought that towards the end of last year. So I think a lot of people are surprised by this. Yeah, there's a chance Man United can win the Premier League, especially if we win tomorrow. Solskjaer has been playing mind games, don't forget. Because he did actually say prior to the game against Burnley that he warned Man United to stay humble and not think we've cracked it if we go top. And he did actually say after the 1-0 win against Wolves earlier on in the season that, Man United are not in the title races yet, but if we are still challenging in March, he'll start to believe then we are in the title race. If we'll win another title at some point, if it isn't this season, I really do think we will. If we win the Premier League, it will be our 21st title overall, and it will be our first Premier League title since 2013. But like I say, we have got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a lot of credit because he has turned a corner. Like I said, we're top of the Premier League. We've been very, very good away from home in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for almost a year now. We are unbeaten in our last 11 Premier League games. You know, Solskjaer's decision making in some games has been good, but it's got to be good persistently, because there's been a lot of games as well where he has been tactically naive. He got us to the FL Cup semi-final this season. Obviously, we lost it to Manchester City 2-0. You know, he's got us to the FA Cup 4th round. We've got Liverpool in the 4th round, as you all know, so we play Liverpool twice in a week. He did well last season in his first full season at the club. He got us qualification for the Champions League, got us third, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. Despite our reluctance to back Solskjaer with transfers, I still think he's made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million at the club. And we've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. So there's definitely positives to take. There is a lot of Manchester United fans that are now Ollie in. With how good we've been in recent months. But earlier on in the season, there was a hell of a lot of Manchester United fans that would Ollie out, including me, because it's how inconsistent we was. But with how good we've been recently, you know, my perception slowly started to change on Solskjaer. And you can say he's done quite well. To say he's not a manager at the top level, can he emulate into a top level manager? I hope he can. You know, this is Solskjaer's second full season as Manchester United manager. And I always did say, didn't I, this season was always going to be a big season for him. Like I said, there's 3 trophies we can pursue. Premier League, FA Cup, Europa. It's very imperative that we get our first trophy on the board under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Because we haven't won a trophy for just over 4 years now. But if we finished in the top 4, the top 3 this season and got a trophy, I still think that'd represent a very good season for Man United. But it would be absolutely remarkable if we won the Premier League. It really, really would. But reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at the club, he has gained managerial experience. You know, because Solskjaer's been Man United manager now for over 2 years. I think he's learned quite a bit. There's still a few things, though, he's got to learn on the job. Don't forget, he's got a contract with Man United until 2022. But Solskjaer could have quite easily been sacked. Definitely. You know, he was lucky not to be sacked after us getting knocked out of the Champions League. He was lucky not to be sacked after our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. But like I said, it takes some managers time to settle in. And like I said, with Solskjaer being a club legend, obviously our board have a soft stance on him. Like I've said on so many of my videos, but disregarding being a club legend, yeah, I think the board would be a lot more ruthless on him. Like I said, when Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood, and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. But we have got some very, very good players in our team. You know, you've got Marcus Rashford, that's a very good player. You've got Edison Cavani, that's good. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. You've got Anthony Martial, that can be good when he wants to be. Hasn't shown that a lot, though, this season. Because he hasn't really been clinical enough in front of goal, Martial. You've got Mason Greenwood, who's good when he wants to be. He hasn't been playing a lot of football recently, to be fair. Solskjaer's been defending him a lot this season. I think Bruno Fernandes is an exceptional player. He's the best player we've got, and he's certainly the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Fernandes has been at the football club now for almost a year. You know, he's certainly made a difference in the team. I think Donny van der Beek's also good. That's when he plays. You know, he seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only started 2 games in the league, and that was West Ham and Southampton. Most of his appearances have come from the bench. There were sources in Italy via the Independent saying that Inter Milan are willing to take Donny van de Beek on loan this month. But he said that Donny van de Beek has made his decision and he actually wants to stay at Man United and fight for his place. Solskjaer was speaking about him the other week and he insists that Van de Beek's got a bright future at Man United. And he tips him to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at the club. And Van de Beek can play in like 3 different roles. At Ajax, he was predominantly number 10. But you can... predominantly box-to-box midfielder, sorry. But you can also put him as the number 10 and you can also put him out wide. Like I said, I think Paul Pogba has done very, very well recently. You know, I think Scott McTominay, he can be a good player when he wants to be. He's not world class, but he's still a good player. You know, he did very, very well against Watford in the FA Cup 3rd round, scored the goal in that game. The best game he's enjoyed in a Man United shirt was the 6-2 win against Leeds. Fantastic, absolutely. You know, scored 2 goals and also got an assist in that game. Just after the first lockdown, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United. I think Fred's also enjoyed good games this season. He's improved in general under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, and I think Fred's underrated, to be honest with you. I think Luke Shaw's also a very good left-back. You know, he can get forward well, he can defend well, he can put some good crosses in. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he is injury prone. It's my only element of concern about him. He's still our number 1 left back. I'm surprised because I actually thought it would be Alex Tellez. That's our first choice left back. You know, Tellez hasn't really played a lot of football since he's come in, but when he's played, he has done quite well. But he's also enjoyed a couple of bad games. I think Eric Bay's also done very, very well since he started playing again. Came back from a neck injury not so long ago. Bay shows that ability to play out from the back. And he can be effective in the air. He can make good interceptions. He can make good blocks. He's too injury prone though, he's Eric Bay. But I certainly prefer him ahead of Victor Lindelof. Harry Maguire, I think he's good. He's certainly not world class. And he certainly wasn't worth the £80 million that we got him for. But he's done well in games this season. And he has bounced back from his early season troubles. He's our current captain and most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he's a very, very good right-back. But again, my element of concern about Wan-Bissaka is his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. But defensively, superb. You know, David De Gea, he's getting back to his best as well. You know, he's enjoyed good games this season. David De Gea has been long-serving at the club. This is his 10th season now at Man United. You know, he's made over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions. And I said he will remain our number 1 for at least this season. And Dean Henderson's done well, you know, in the games he's also played in. So, yeah. But, yeah, on my next video, I will be giving you my predictions for the Liverpool-Manchester United game tomorrow. It is a top-of-the-table clash. Really, really looking forward to it. You know, Solskjaer's obviously said we are the underdogs, but he's urged us to go to Anfield and cause an upset. He's obviously made an admission regarding Liverpool, saying they have been the best team in England for the past 18 months. Battery's running low. Sorry about that. And he did say they've been great for, you know, the last 3 years. Can we be the team that ends Liverpool's unbeaten run at Anfield in the Premier League? Liverpool haven't lost at Anfield in the Premier League since April 2017. Crystal Palace were the last team to beat them. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.